Multi-vector integration is Kazakhstan's chosen course of development, and the program, Single Market. Each new stage of a person's life and society provides good motivation for further development. Within this context, the upcoming year of 2016 may become a year of positive changes for us all. Hello, my name is Pavel Koktyshev, and you are watching Single Market. In today's program, the Astana International Financial Center, a new resource for economic growth. Realities and prospects of Armenia's footwear manufacturers within the context of the Eurasian Economic Union. A carpet ball of the Ball Textile Company. In May of this year, during the Astana Economic Forum, it was announced that an international financial center will be established in Kazakhstan's capital city. Already today, experts are giving a high assessment to the potential of the new entity. Nina Kumambetova brings us the details on what these expectations are based on. As it is known, in 2017, Kazakhstan's capital city will be granted the role of hosting the International Expo 2017 exhibition, after it is hosted in Antalya in 2016. The exact location is Astana's left bank, not far from the Nazarbayev University. International experience has shown that for some cities which hosted Expo exhibition, after it is finished, the issue arises of how to use the infrastructure that was built for all the related events. And this issue is quite serious, because we're talking about large amounts of money that are spent by the government on the construction of all the facilities of the international exhibition. Today, on the territory where the exhibition will be held, 5 investment projects are being realized in the total amount of more than 100 billion tenge. Throughout the entire period of the exhibition, 2 million people are expected to visit it. It is forecasted that 15% of these people will be foreign tourists.
And everything can't be all about just the hosting of one big event or even a series of international events, because there has to be thought to making this sustainable. You can't just have a huge influx of visitors and then they all go away.
Everything can't be just about. Kazakhstan came up with a solution how to reap maximum benefits from the further use of the infrastructure built for Expo. In May of 2015, the country's president announced the idea of establishing the Astana International Financial Center. The Astana Financial Center will become the core of Kazakhstan's financial infrastructure, and in the future, a financial hub for the entire Central Asian region. The main functions of the future center will include Islamic financing, private banking, and reinsurance. The concept model of the Dubai International Financial Center will be used as the foundation. It is based on the principle for creating a free economic zone, which will be regulated by the standards of English law.
Financial center will be run on English law, and the transactions will be in English. What is also more interesting is that the clarity of making the Dubai Financial Center, the knowledge and the technology transferable to Astana is attractive.
The Astana International Financial Center will offer a preferential tax regime. During the first 10 years, the center's members will face a 10% individual income and corporate tax. The affiliated enterprises will be able to attract foreign labor without having to receive work permits. A simplified visa regime will be put in place for the employees and their family members. These plans are in line with the ideas of leading financial experts.
You have to attract people to move here and stay. That's what Singapore 50 years ago was, a swamp. It was a disaster with 500,000 people. But they did everything they could to bring smart, successful, ambitious people there. It's been the most successful country in the world in the last 40 years.
You have to attract people. By the way, experts have already assessed the geographical location of the future International Financial Center. The capital of Kazakhstan is a good choice, considering its location in Central Asia, and in terms of the level of urbanization. The city meets all the objective criteria for promoting economic growth and infrastructural development.
Well, if you look at the criteria that are relevant for companies that are in the financial industry to locate, for instance, in Astana, they look at the quality of life. They look at, taking their families to a location or a city as Astana.
This new platform of financial activity will not only become a center for attracting foreign investments, but also a good stimulus for more active channeling of domestic capital into Kazakhstan's economy. Overall, this project shows good prospects in every respect. The Astana International Financial Center will become a financial hub for the entire Central Asian region. This is the minimum that it will accomplish. More ambitious plans entail becoming one of the top 20 financial centers in the world. There are also more long-term plans, which according to experts should introduce the necessary changes into the global financial infrastructure. Footwear manufacturing is the traditional sphere of Armenia's light industry. During the times of the Soviet-planned economy, the products of Armenia's footwear factories always stood out due to their quality. What is the state of this subsector today? Can the country's footwear enterprises enter the Eurasian Economic Union under the brand Made in Armenia? We find out from the report of our correspondent in Yerevan, Kazakh. By the beginning of the 90s, Armenia produced around 18 million pairs of shoes annually. What's more, a large share of this volume was exported to the former Union countries. After the fall of the USSR, the majority of large shoe factories shut down, and the production volumes decreased tenfold. Only few enterprises managed to stay afloat. On this stand, some of the examples of our products are presented. There's everyday footwear as well as specialized footwear and models which are procured by our state for the armed forces. There was a time when this factory in the city of Abovyan employed 2,000 employees and its daily production reached 1,000 pairs of shoes. After privatization, with the loss of the main sales markets and an abrupt fall in production, the enterprise was forced to change its operational strategy. In order to keep its niche on the market, the factory began fulfilling specialized orders to the armed forces and industrial enterprises. Right now, the enterprise is going through a process of modernization and is in search of new markets. First and foremost, within the framework of the Eurasian Economic Union. We're interested in the markets of Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and we are actively working in this respect. Sometimes we visit the exhibitions in Russia and try to establish some business contacts. There are some concluded agreements with Kazakhstan. This small plant also produces order-based footwear. Here, aside from specialized footwear, men's boots and shoes are also manufactured. All of the products enjoy good demand. The enterprise is small and its tailors have a very good reputation. I think my love for this profession is in my genes, and the secret of success is simple. You have to love your job. There are difficulties in every trade. That's what my grandfather used to say. This tool I got from him. It's heavy. I still use it to this day, however, only when I work with rough leather. And right now, the material used has become thinner and softer. Recently, this enterprise sent a pair of its products, men's boots and women's shoes, as an export shipment to Russia. The owners, ethnic Armenians, came from the Syrian city of Aleppo, where they had a large factory for the manufacturing of shoe lasts. In Yerevan, they first opened a shoe tailor shop and then their own store. A large amount of experience in this sphere and a fresh perspective allowed them to objectively assess the state and potential of Armenia's footwear manufacturing enterprises. In my opinion, one of the main challenges of this sector is the lack of raw materials, because leather is practically not produced here. It is imported from abroad. Also, the market is quite small. This results in shoe tailors leaving to Russia for work, and here the shortage of specialists is easily felt. The leather for the making of shoes in Armenia is imported from Turkey, China, Iran, and Belarus. Locally produced raw materials make up only 4 to 5% of the total volume. And this, despite the fact that in 2014, the country exported around 270,000 pieces of unprocessed leather. Today, the state has developed a special program with the aim of developing the expansion of the domestic base of raw materials.
Եվ գյուղացիներին
Farmers will be offered the necessary consultancy support regarding questions on livestock management. In addition, introduction of a number of slaughterhouses, in addition to the existing ones, has been considered. This will allow to conduct organized killing of livestock to obtain high-quality leather. Cooperation with processing enterprises is also envisaged in order to provide them with high-quality leather and to increase their production capacities. Today, more than 30 small and medium footwear manufacturing enterprises are registered in Armenia. Potential capacities of these enterprises reach 2 million pairs of shoes. 25% of the total produced volume is intended for exports. With state support, this figure may reach 5 million pairs. And with these production levels, Armenia's enterprises will be able to occupy a niche on the market of the Eurasian Economic Union. And the products will once again be able to enjoy the once popular fame of the brand Made in Armenia. Elena Kazaryan, Tigran Galstyan, Gurgen Vardanyan, exclusively for single market from Armenia. Special economic zones. They serve as a good incentive for investors to create joint productions. The Ontustik Special Economic Zone, which is located in Shymkent, is no exception. In 2011, a joint Kazakhstan-Turkey enterprise was established on its territory. Our correspondent, Leah Budyanskaya, found out more details about its sphere of operations and what distinguishes the products of this enterprise. During the golden age of the Great Silk Way, carpets from the East were some of the most popular goods. Merchants brought them from India and China. Today, a carpet manufacturing factory operates on the territory of the South Kazakhstan region, in Shymkent. The carpet manufacturing factory, Bal Textile, was established in 2013. Preferential conditions of the Special Economic Zone served as an incentive for the realization of this project. They were first and foremost established for enterprises operating in the light industry. For entrepreneurs from Turkey and Kazakhstan who decided to establish a joint carpet manufacturing enterprise, these preferential conditions turned out to be quite attractive. After the presentation on the opportunities offered by the Special Economic Zone, they came to the conclusion that it is possible to establish a carpet manufacturing factory here, and so they did. And today, their operations are profitable. Initially, the plan was for the factory to build up its production capacities, gradually and stage by stage. During the first stage, 5 billion tenge was spent. A large share of this amount was spent on the purchasing of very modern production lines. There are many models of loom machines across the world. Among them, the most reputable are the German and the Belgian, Van de Wilde. But even among these two, the Van de Wilde machine enjoys great demand, and our Turkish partners choose this particular brand for their production. And since they are familiar with it, they propose that we use it as well. Today, the second stage for the enterprise has commenced. For the expansion of the factory's production capacities, 1.7 billion tenge was spent. This amount was used to purchase equipment for the production of synthetic polypropylene threads and loom machines of the latest generation. Thanks to these loom machines, the enterprise was able to expand its range of products. It became possible to produce carpets with a width of not only 4, but also 5 meters. This allowed the enterprise to organize a shipment for exports. Today, its products are delivered to the markets in Russia and Kyrgyzstan. Long-term plans include entering the markets of Belarus and Scandinavian countries. In particular, there is a possibility that an agreement will be concluded with the Swedish multinational group of companies, IKEA. We want to increase our export volumes in the second and third period of our project. Our plans include exporting up to 60% of our products. Foreign guests prefer to take with them memorable souvenirs from Kazakhstan, which symbolize the country's national identity. And the most optimal option are carpets. On the one hand, they express the ideas of beauty and harmony, and on the other, have a functional role. Specialists at this factory believe that with the revival of the Silk Road, their products will enjoy demand on not only the domestic, but also foreign markets. Leah Budyanskaya, Nijat Yusupov, exclusively for Single Market. That's all for today. Kind reminder, all the episodes of our program are available on www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time on Single Market, a territory without borders.